Hello everyone, welcome to Enjoy Audiobook, wishing you a delightful listening experience. Today, I'm going to delve into a book titled Elon Musk, a Biography. From any perspective, Elon Musk is a complex figure. As a successful individual, his identity is multifaceted. He's an innovator from Silicon Valley, the world's richest man, a member of the National Academy of Engineering, and occasionally, he moonlights as an internet celebrity due to his unconventional statements and actions. As an entrepreneur, his companies are just as complex. There's Tesla, which manufactures electric cars, SpaceX, which focuses on rockets, Neuralink, which researches brain-computer interfaces, and the Boring Company, which explores new high-speed rail technologies. He's also a co-founder of the artificial intelligence company OpenAI. In 2023, he acquired Twitter, turning it into his private enterprise. As a person, his character is equally complex. His brother, who was also his first business partner, once said, "I love my brother dearly, but working with him can be really challenging." Even Bill Gates was drawn to Musk's ventures and wanted to befriend him, but they fell out due to their inability to tolerate each other's personalities. In summary, Musk is a person who is difficult to categorize entirely. He has extremely pronounced strengths and weaknesses. Sometimes, his actions and words might make him seem delusional or even insane. At other times, he truly makes history and changes the world. So, how did Musk become Musk? Where does his contradictory nature come from? If you follow the news, you might think that Musk often makes bizarre decisions on a whim. However, if you look back at his life's trajectory, you'll find that many of his actions are traceable. For instance, after acquiring Twitter, he renamed it X. At the time, people probably thought he was being whimsical again. But if you review Musk's entrepreneurial history, this isn't surprising at all. You might know that Musk founded the internet payment platform PayPal, originally named X.com. When he made money from PayPal and turned his attention to space, he founded SpaceX. Again, there's that X. Although Musk is a co-founder of OpenAI, he has his own ideas about the AI field. So, he simply started his own AI company named xAI. Here, you can see Musk's fixation with the letter X. This makes his decision to rename Twitter less surprising. This might seem trivial, but it also shows that even someone as complex as Musk has discernible patterns in his life trajectory. It's like finding pieces of a life puzzle that come together to form the complex figure that Musk is today. The book Elon Musk, a Biography that I'm discussing today helps us unravel Musk's life trajectory and understand how Musk became Musk. The author of this biography is the renowned biographer Walter Isaacson. His previous work includes The World of Peace. He has also written biographies of Steve Jobs, Henry Kissinger, Benjamin Franklin, Leonardo da Vinci, and Albert Einstein. If there were a ranking for the influence of global biographers, Isaacson would undoubtedly be at the top. For this biography, Isaacson followed and interviewed Musk for over 2 years, participating in both significant and minor events in his life and career. Isaacson didn't just interview Musk's closest family members, friends, and colleagues. Many people who had intense conflicts with Musk, including his father, former partners, former colleagues, and competitors, also gave interviews to Isaacson. Thus, this is not a biography that merely praises or mythologizes Musk. In reconstructing some of Musk's major life events, Isaacson seeks different parties involved to cross-verify facts. There are even instances where different parties provide completely contradictory statements about the same event. Moreover, Musk has great respect for Isaacson and did not interfere with the creation of this book at all. He didn't read the manuscript before it was officially published. Considering that this book is available in both Chinese and English and was released globally simultaneously, if you read fast enough, you might even finish the book before Musk himself does. This book was published in September 2023. As I write this audio script, the contents of this book are still strictly confidential to readers. How did I manage to read the content of this book? Because I am the first translator of the Chinese edition of this book. I had the privilege of starting to read this book from early 2023. While Isaacson was still finalizing the manuscript, another translator, Liu Jiaqi, and I were translating it simultaneously. We went through several iterations of the content. Isaacson overturned much of the initial draft and made bold revisions. From each revision, I could sense Isaacson's dedication to this book. In recent years, the world has seen almost as much praise, acclaim, and controversy surrounding Elon Musk as there are stars in the sky. Most people view this innovative maverick through a lens heavily tinted with bias. However, Walter Isaacson stands apart by adopting a calm, objective, and truthful perspective, breaking through biases and filters to present us with an unembellished, real version of Musk. The content of this book is incredibly rich, with the Chinese edition exceeding 600 pages, filled with intricate details about Musk's life. How can I help you grasp the essence of this book in just over 20 minutes? Through our discussion, we can observe the patterns in Musk's life, much like piecing together a complex puzzle that gradually forms the enigmatic figure of Musk today. Next, I'll introduce you to the three most crucial pieces of this puzzle, starting with Musk's childhood. Musk's childhood was paradoxical. On one hand, he displayed signs of genius from a very young age, becoming the proverbial child next door everyone talked about. In fact, I have a perfect example to share. In 2020, Musk's mother, May Musk, released her autobiography, A Woman Makes a Plan. I had the opportunity to interview May and we discussed Elon's childhood. I had read Musk's previous biography, Elon Musk, Tesla, SpaceX, and the quest for a fantastic future, and learned how much he loved reading, sometimes finishing 2 books in a single weekend. Curious, I asked May how she cultivated this love of reading in Elon. She replied that from the beginning, it was she who wanted to read. The difference with Elon was that once he read something, he never forgot it. He could even memorize the entire Encyclopedia Britannica. Everyone in the family thought of Musk as a genius. A poignant statement from May struck me during our conversation. When I asked her what the best investment of her life was, she said, "If you're talking about financial investments, then it would definitely be Tesla's stock. But if it's about life investments, then it would definitely be the time spent on my children." On the other hand, Musk's childhood was also marked by misfortune. One reason he loved reading was that he was not good at interacting with people. He said, "I took everything people said literally." It was only through reading that I began to understand that often people do not mean what they say. For a long time, Musk was the youngest and shortest student in his class and struggled to make friends. This led to him being bullied and beaten up at school. There was even an incident where he was hospitalized for a week after being severely beaten by bullies, and decades later, he still needed corrective surgery to repair internal damage to his nose. However, the physical pain was nothing compared to the impact his father had on him. During a severe domestic violence incident, Musk's parents divorced. At the age of 10, Musk moved in with his father, which he later described as one of his biggest regrets. Elon Musk had many contradictory traits. He was both a scoundrel and charming, had the meticulous logic of an engineer and the wild imagination of a dreamer. But most fatally for young Elon, his father lacked any compassion. After one brutal beating at school, his father berated him mercilessly when he returned home from the hospital. From the age of 10 to 17, living with his father was like opening a mystery box. He could never predict when his father would be cheerful or malevolently gloomy. The switch could happen in an instant. Although Musk rarely talks about his father as an adult, it's clear from many aspects that his father's influence has been lifelong. In the book, there's a detail where the wealthy Musk sends money to his father every month for living expenses. However, whenever he sees his father claiming in interviews how crucial he was to Musk's success, Elon would cut the financial support. This tumultuous childhood has profoundly shaped Musk's way of doing things and his personality. In the book, Musk's ex-wife recalls to Isaacson that they had a code phrase whenever she told Musk, "You're becoming more like your father." It was a warning that he was veering into a dark place. Musk himself reflected to Isaacson why he enjoys stirring up dramatic conflicts, saying, "I need to change my thinking pattern. I can't always be in crisis mode." Musk's relentless pursuit to acquire Twitter might not have been driven by business considerations, but rather an attempt to compensate for his childhood regrets. Over the years, whenever he found himself in dire situations or felt threatened, he would recall the terror of being bullied on the playground. Now, he had the chance to own the entire playground. The second crucial puzzle piece in understanding Musk is his engineer's mindset, which was evident during his college years. During his college years, Musk secured an internship in the financial sector, joining a strategic planning team at a bank. However, he found the experience unsatisfactory, feeling out of place with the work habits and mindset prevalent in banking. Some of his classmates transferred to the University of Pennsylvania in the United States, and Musk decided to follow suit. As an Ivy League institution, Penn offered its students two bright career paths, one leading to Wall Street and finance, and the other to Silicon Valley and technology. Musk, having no interest in finance, sought internship opportunities in Silicon Valley instead. During the summer of his junior year, Musk juggled two jobs in Silicon Valley. By day, he worked at a research institute focusing on supercapacitor devices that could power electric cars and space weapons. By night, he worked at a gaming company, solving programming challenges. At that time, due to the rise of computers, Silicon Valley engineers preferred to work on software rather than hardware. They considered software to be more sophisticated, but Musk was fascinated by both. His dual internships, one in programming and the other in handling tangible components, brought him joy. While his job at the gaming company revealed his natural talent for game development, Musk wasn't particularly passionate about it. Instead, it turned him into an avid gamer. His daytime job at the research institute didn't lead to many breakthroughs, but it planted the seed in Musk's mind for researching electric vehicles. According to Musk's plans at the time, he would have completed his undergraduate studies at Penn and then pursued a graduate degree in material science, continuing his research on supercapacitors for electric vehicles. However, upon spotting a startup opportunity in Silicon Valley, he decisively dove into entrepreneurship, marking the beginning of his journey as an entrepreneur. Although his time studying at Penn and intern in Silicon Valley totaled only a year, the impact on him was profound. Musk has always seen himself more as an engineer than a businessman, a detail frequently highlighted in the book. For instance, in September 2021, when Isaacson met Musk in a SpaceX conference room, Musk expressed his enthusiasm for working with top engineers on iterative upgrades, likening his excitement to celebrating a national holiday. However, whether the engineers shared his excitement is questionable, as Isaacson observed Musk meticulously scrutinizing every detail of a rocket design, focusing on reducing its weight. Musk's engineering mindset was evident when he suggested replacing some rocket engine parts with stainless steel, despite some colleagues' objections. After hearing their reasonable arguments, Musk proposed, instead of analyzing for months, why not just try it? If it fails, we can always switch back. This approach of rapid prototyping allowed for quick validation and resolution of issues. Ultimately, he successfully replaced most of the parts with stainless steel. At the SpaceX production factory, when Musk noticed a robotic arm moving slowly and hindering production efficiency, he didn't just accept the manufacturer's limitations. Instead, he rewrote the code himself, adjusting the robotic arm's speed. This action exemplifies Musk's adherence to the first principles approach, a concept that has become popular in the entrepreneurial world, deeply reflecting Musk's engineering spirit. He respects the laws of physics, discards other prejudices and traditions, and through repeated experiments, finds the best technical means to achieve his goals. In Musk's case, the goal is to reduce the costs of rockets and electric vehicles. This mindset is very much that of an engineer. Musk often says, "Isn't it just this or that? Are we trying to break the laws of physics?" Moreover, when managing his companies, Musk's engineering mindset often makes him stand out from other executives. There's a detail in the book about a meeting Musk had with Twitter executives before acquiring the company. Musk bombarded them with a series of questions. For instance, when Twitter executives estimated that fake accounts constituted about 5 of total users, Musk immediately asked, "How did you determine that number? Do you have more specific data?" Other questions included, "How many lines of code do the software engineers write each day?" He pointed out that Tesla's autopilot team had 200 software engineers, so why did Twitter need 500? He also questioned why Twitter was spending $1 billion a year on servers, asking which features used the most computing time and storage, and how these features were prioritized. When the executives couldn't provide satisfactory answers, Musk became quite frustrated. Twitter executives felt that Musk was just nitpicking, probably as a strategy to lower the acquisition price. However, this is simply Musk's way of managing his companies, whether it's Tesla or SpaceX. He cannot tolerate impressionism. Whether at Tesla or SpaceX, Musk tirelessly explains his algorithms to others during production meetings. These algorithms are designed to enhance the efficiency of company operations and include 5 main principles. The first principle is to question everything that is used. When making any request, it should be specified who in the department is making the request, whether it's from legal, security, or even Musk himself. Musk encourages everyone to question and improve these requests to make them less foolish. The second principle is to eliminate any unnecessary parts and processes from the requirements. Although some processes might need to be added back later, Musk reminds his colleagues that the parts added back should only make up tenths of what was removed, otherwise, it indicates that not enough was cut. The third principle is simplification and optimization, which should be done after the reduction step. This prevents optimizing a process that shouldn't exist in the first place. The fourth principle is to speed up turnaround times. Every process can be accelerated, but only after the first 3 steps have been followed. The fifth and final principle is automation. Only after all unnecessary requirements and processes have been questioned and eliminated, and the relevant issues have been sifted out and addressed, can automation be pushed forward. You see, whether it's in RD or management, Musk views everything as a system that can be improved, and even the improvement process itself has been systemated by Musk. Though both are innovators, Musk and Steve Jobs actually have very different temperaments. In the book, Isaacson quotes Oracle founder Larry Ellison, who was a close friend of both Jobs and Musk and a board member of Apple and Tesla. Ellison had the opportunity to observe both men closely. He noted that Jobs only needed to focus on design concepts and software engineering, leaving the manufacturing aspects to others. In contrast, Musk took on manufacturing, supply chains, and even giant factories. Jobs liked to walk past Apple's designers daily, but rarely commented on their work. In contrast, Musk spent more time on the assembly line than in the design room. This comparison further clarifies the engineering temperament evident in Musk. The third crucial puzzle piece in understanding Musk is his vision for the future of humanity. According to Isaacson's interviews with Musk during his most intellectually curious teenage years, the books that influenced him the most were science fiction novels. Musk's 3 favorite works were Robert Heinlein's The Moon is a Harsh Mistress, Isaac Asimov's Foundation, and Douglas Adams' The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. What did these novels talk about? The Moon is a Harsh Mistress describes the moon as a penal colony for humanity, managed by an artificial intelligence. When a rebellion occurs, the AI ultimately chooses to sacrifice itself to save humanity. Foundation depicts a future where human civilization has expanded across the galaxy, forming a galactic empire. At the height of the empire's power, a brilliant scientist predicts a dark age lasting 30,000 years. He gathered the best scientists to a desolate planet on the edge of the galaxy to establish a base, hoping that this base would preserve the spark of human civilization. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy opens with this intriguing premise. In the galaxy, there are various civilizations, and Earth is just an insignificant one among them. An alien civilization is constructing a hyperspace expressway, which you can think of as a highway between planets. It turns out that Earth is exactly in the way of this construction, so the alien civilization demolishes Earth. The story begins from there. Why do I painstakingly recount the plots of these 3 novels? Because their impact on Musk is profound. You'll find that his entire business empire is almost entirely influenced by the themes of these 3 novels. So, what is his ultimate goal? It can be summarized in 3 statements. First, to enable humans to survive across planets. Second, to have artificial intelligence protect humanity. And third, which actually serves the previous two to preserve the spark of human civilization. Reviewing Musk's entrepreneurial history, you'll see that he indeed uses his ventures to step-by-step realize this plan in his mind. Musk founded SpaceX because he believed that reusable rockets are crucial for humanity to break free from Earth and evolve from a single planet to a multi-planet civilization. Founding Tesla to research electric cars, the Boring Company to explore new directions in high-speed rail, and xAI to create the AI he envisioned serving humanity, all hope that future humans will use more sustainable energy. Founding Neuralink to study brain-computer interfaces is also an attempt to offer humanity another way to avoid the influence of malevolent time. Out of the 6 companies Musk owns, 5 are integrated into this ultimate goal. I know Musk's ultimate goal might sound a bit fantastical to us, but he has his reasons. Musk discovered that technological progress is not inevitable. People naturally assume technology will automatically advance, but in reality, it's not possible. Without deliberate preservation, much technology would actually disappear. The knowledge to build pyramids in ancient Egypt was later lost, as was ancient Roman building technology. If these examples seem too distant, consider that last century America landed on the moon, but later, the spaceflight program stalled and much knowledge was lost. Therefore, Musk believes that continuous effort is needed to preserve human knowledge. Moreover, Musk is deeply fascinated by the Fermi paradox, named after the famous physicist Enrico Fermi, who proposed it during a discussion about extraterrestrial life in the universe. Simply put, if as other astronomers estimate, the probability of other civilizations in the universe is high, then why don't we see any signs of intelligent life? This might mean that our estimates of alien civilizations are too optimistic. In Musk's view, if Earth is the only civilization in the universe, then we have an even greater duty to protect the sole survivor. In his opinion, the best way is to allow human knowledge and civilization to thrive on more planets, not just Earth, thus greatly increasing the chances of civilization's survival. The book quotes Musk telling Isaacson, "True milestones are few: the emergence of single-cell life, multicellular life, the differentiation of plants and animals, life moving from the sea to land, the appearance of mammals, and the advent of agriculture." On this scale, the next major advancement is obvious, making Earth life into a multi-planet species. Regardless of whether others agree, Musk truly believes his goals are epoch-making, and he continues to strive forward with this motivation. With that, we conclude our exploration of Walter Isaacson's Elon Musk biography. Through the 3 puzzle pieces we've uncovered, the complex figure of Musk becomes more understandable to us. At the end of this audio session, I want to share a question that Isaacson has been pondering, not just because of this biography. While writing Steve Jobs' biography, he constantly thought about whether Jobs needed to be so harsh, so brutally ruthless, and so indulged in dramatic conflicts. He posed this question to Jobs' partner Wozniak. Wozniak said that if he were managing Apple, he would be kinder, treating everyone at Apple like family, not firing employees immediately. Then he paused and added, "But then, we might never have made the Macintosh, a personal computer hailed as one of Apple's greatest products, whose legacy you can still see in Apple's excellent products today." While writing Elon Musk a biography, Isaacson pondered the same question. At the beginning of the book, he quotes Musk saying, "To all those I've offended, I just want to say I reinvented the electric car. I'm sending rockets to Mars. But if I were a laid-back, easygoing guy, do you think I could have achieved all this if he were more relaxed and approachable?" Would he still be the man who aims to send us to Mars and into a future of electric cars? Isaacson leaves the question open, suggesting that each reader, after understanding the complexities of Musk's life, should come to their own conclusion. That's the essence of this book. Congratulations, you've just completed another book. Thank you all for your support and attention. Please subscribe to the Enjoy Audiobook channel, like, and share this valuable knowledge with friends around you. Let's combine wisdom and practice to achieve our financial goals and create a better future. Thank you.